So, team, we have to do a short summary of our work experience on a farm. Right, my farm was great, but arranging the work experience was hard. One problem was it was miles away and I don't drive. And also, I really wanted the placement for a month, but I could only get one for 2 weeks. I was lucky. The farmer let me stay on the farm so I didn't have to travel. But finding the right sort of farm to apply to wasn't easy. No, they don't seem to have websites, do they? I found mine through my friend of my mother's, but it wasn't easy. No. My farm was mostly livestock, especially sheep. I really enjoyed helping out with them. I was up most of one night helping a sheep deliver a lamb. On your own? No. The farmer was there and he told me what to do. It wasn't a straightforward birth, but I managed. It was a great feeling to see the lamb stagger to its feet and start feeding almost straight away, and to know that it was okay. Then another time, a lamb had broken its leg, and they got the vet in to set it, and he taught me through what he was doing. That was really useful. Yes, my farm had sheep too. The farm was in a valley and they had a lowland breed called Suffolk, although the farmer said they had other breeds in the past. So, were they bred for their meat? Mostly yes. They're quite big and solid. My farm was up in the hills and they had a different breed of sheep. They were Chevios. Oh, I heard there was really sought after. Yes, it's very hard wearing and they use it for carpets. Right. I was interested in the amount of supplements supplements they add to animals' feed nowadays. Like even the chicken got extra vitamins and electrolytes in their feed. Yes, I found that too. And they're not cheap. But my farmer said some are overpriced for what they are. And he didn't give them as a matter of routine, just at times when the chickens seemed to particularly require them. Yes, mine said the same. He said certain breeds of chickens might need more supplements than the others, but the cheap and expensive ones are all basically the same. So, does your farm have any other livestock, Diana? Yes, dairy cows. I made a really embarrassing mistake when I was working in the milk set. Some cows had been treated like antibiotics, so their milk wasn't suitable for human consumption, and it had to be put in a separate container. But I got mixed up and I put some milk from the grown cow in with the milk for humans. So the whole lot had to be thrown away. The farmer wasn't too happy with me. I asked my farmer how much he depended on the vet to deal with health problems. I read reports that the livestock's health is being affected as farmers are under pressure to increase production. Well, he didn't agree with that, but he said that actually some of the stuff the vets do, like minor operations, he'd be quite capable of doing himself. Yeah, my farmer said the same, but he reckons vet skills are still needed. Now we've got to give a bit of feedback about last term's models. Just short comments apparently. Shall we do that now? Okay, so medical terminology. Well, my heart sank when I saw that, especially right at the beginning of the course, and I did struggle with it. I'd thought it'd be hard, but actually I found it all quite straightforward. What do you think about diet and nutrition? Okay, I suppose. Do you remember what they told us about pet food and the fact that there's such limited checking into whether or not it's contaminated? I mean, in comparison with the checks on food for humans, I thought that was terrible. I think the model that really impressed me was the animal disease one. When we looked at domesticated animals in different parts of the world, like camels and water buffalo and alpaca, the economies of so many countries depend on these. But scientists don't know much about the diseases that affect them. Yes, I thought they'd know a lot about ways of controlling and eradicating those diseases, but that's not the case at all. I love the wildlife medication unit, things like helping birds that have been caught in oil spills. That's something I hadn't thought about before. Yeah, I thought I might write my dissertation or something connected with that, right? So, oh my god. Okay. To foster the expansion, thanks to globalization, the ease in trade and commerce has fostered the expansion of emerging market economies. International merchandise treaties being promoted and signed between countries has facilitated international merchandise trade. Era of prosperity. A new era of prosperity is being brought to underdeveloped nations with the support from international funds. Cutting edge technology, the process of internationalization has introduced developing countries the access to cutting edge technology. Multilateral trade agreements can remove both tariff and non-tariff barriers between parties, therefore enhance exports and imports to become closely integrated. Vietnam has become closely integrated with neighboring countries as a result of the establishment of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations in 1995. The loss of national identity. There is a growing concern that a world language might lead to the loss of national identity. Cultural convergence is considered one of the adverse effects of globalization when different cultures reflect each other due to the increase. Wow. Okay. Next one. What kinds of professions are related to giving information to others? As far as I know that mobile phones cannot be separated from many people because they use mobile phone as a effective information device that can used to be used in calls and receiving calls. What's the difference between giving information by phone and email? Long ago, people wrote emails to each other, but nowadays phones are more famous. I think information that are given by writing email is more formal than information that is generated by phone. How can people check whether the piece of information is correct or not? Well, honestly, it is a little bit hard to know whether the information we receive is correct or not, but we can double check with the resource. For example, people or book or whatever the formal resource that generated the information. Do people trust the information online? Sometimes people can rely on the information that they search on the internet. They can find the information from trustworthy websites like from governments or educational institutions, but sometimes they cannot trust the information that appears randomly on the internet, like on websites like Facebook, because the information is based on various opinions from many people around the world. Do you have any good friends who live far away? Why not? Yeah, definitely I have some good friends who live far away from me. I studied overseas for several years. I made friends with them when I did my master there. I can say that we are good friends. We help each other in exchange country. We helped each other also in studying. Are you still friends with any of your childhood friends? Why not? Sadly, I have no friends from my childhood. The reason is very simple. I changed my schools many times. After primary school, I moved to a high school that was far away from the previous one, from my primary school. So it was hard for me to keep contact with them. After graduating from high school, I went to my university and of course I lived so far away from them. We could also we had no chance to hang out with each other. What do you value most about your friends? Why? I'm so grateful when I have some good friends, because when I face some difficulties, they always they are always there and give me a helping hand. Do you think you are a good friend? I'm on a fence about it. Why I can say so? Sometimes it might be that I am a good person who can be so friendly and make friends easily, and even I can treat my friends so well. But to be honest, sometimes I didn't meet my friends in some cases. So in that cases, I think I am not good. Okay. Describe an invention that changed people's lives. You should say what it is, what it does, how it is used, how popular it is among people of different ages, and explain why or how you think it changed people's lives. I think bicycles are interesting things that are really an invention that changed people's lives. Before bicycle appeared, people had to walk and traveled around by foot. But when they invented bicycles, they could travel in far distance. And I think using a bicycle is a must. We should learn. When I was a child, I tried so hard to ride a bike. Riding a bike helps us to improve our health, and even helps us to enjoy the moment when we are riding. It might be true that people's lives was changed a lot because they did not force themselves to do something by themselves, but after the existence of bicycles, they use tools to make their lives more easier and more convenient.